So, what do we have up here? What do we have for ourselves? Oh, we have some barrels for ourselves. And oh, we're meant to press E. Okay. Goodbye, flaming barrels. Goodbye. Oh, hello, enemies. Flaming barrels, goodbye. I think the flaming barrels meant for the enemies coming this way, and I was correct because they've exploded a little prematurely, just like I do. But anyway, let's continue shooting. Let's reload because I'm crapping myself right now. I think I've wasted those barrels. I'm not too sure, but I know this is gonna get real crazy, baby. G'day guys, ChampChong here with a very special video because as you can tell, I'm in Homefront the Revolution. Yes, I'm playing this game. The awesome guys from Dambuster Studios have allowed me to play the game a little early and capture it for you guys. Now, I do have an interview with one of the guys from the team, but first off, we're here. And wait, what is this guy doing with RPG? I guess I'll recruit him, but like, dude, an RPG, that's a little excessive, bro. Anyway, so this is actually an open world. So this guy I'm gonna recruit, and basically you can see this huge world. It's amazing. Oh, seriously? A drone again? Okay, there we go. These Casey Neistat drones are literally the most annoying thing, but hey, you gotta take him out. Just like I'm gonna take this guy. Come on. Pop your head. Oh, there we go. Anyway, let's loot his body, get some good stuff. But as I was saying, I managed to snag an interview with one of the guys from Dambuster. Awesome stuff. But on top of that, I got you guys some exclusive gameplay that I captured here. And this is an open world, so there are things such as just like going on these side missions and then doing crazy stuff like actual story missions and just actually putting it all together. And it's a bunch of, oh my goodness, I was gonna say it's a bunch of fun, but things like this happen. So basically, whew, there we go, we're healed. So as I was saying, again, I'm getting carried away because this game, there are a few things that I really love in this, and I will get to that interview. You guys will see that, hear that, all that good stuff. But one of my favorite things in this game has to be the customization of the guns. When I first saw it, I was just blown away. But yeah, let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, and here is some customization. Alrighty, customization. Now, I'm going to change a few things with this assault rifle because I don't like the regular iron sights personally. Why not upgrade, since we can, to a new sight? That looks really nice. Now, on top of that, we can change the barrel, the underbarrel, we can change a few things here and there, but why don't we just make it a little more precise and put a new laser sight on there? Okay, how about we make it a little more interesting and put that... Oh, does that new barrel look good? But anyway, I think I have another gun. Yes, I do. I have this pistol. Now, the pistol is something very interesting. It blew my mind the first time, so I'm going to show you guys first off. Now, add the underbarrel laser sight. And now, let's convert this gun to something a little more special. And here we are, baby. How good does that look? We just changed the pistol to an SMG, and why not just add this on top just for the hell of it? It's a cherry on top. Let's do this. And now I'm going to demonstrate to you guys as I go over this hill because there are some enemies over here. I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to use some of these weapons and attachments and stuff on these enemies right down there. Oh, whoops. Okay, kill him. Okay, I thought that was friendly, but I guess not. Okay, neither is this guy, but I used my green laser sight, and yeah, there's some demonstration right there. Not how I planned, but okay, let's move in on here and kill these fools. Gonna get the rest of them, but anyway, you guys will see more gameplay from me, hopefully less messing around like that and more actual proper gameplay. But yeah, here is an interview with myself and one of the guys from Dambuster. So I'm here with David Stenton, a game producer at Dambuster Studios. Now, you guys have been working on this game for how long now?
On Homefront the Revolution, I would say approximately 4, maybe 5 years. That's an absolute push.
Yeah.
I mean, really, in its current form, it's probably been maybe 3.5 years of, kind of proper production.
How long did it take you guys to actually really decide to go for, upgradables and open world and all that kind of stuff? Like, what really inspired that?
So, over the course of, the 4 or 5 years, it's actually interesting that kind of different elements have stuck over the period. So within the past kind of 3 years, that was really marked the point that we went open world with it. So that's one of the major features of the game now, that it's so expansive. It's got kind of RPG elements, but even from back prior to that, some of the elements like the dynamic weapon customization that you mentioned, that was actually kind of from a previous kind of pre-production period. So really, as we've kind of had the game in development, different features have really been kind of prototyped and experimented with, and then just kind of developed and stuck from that point on.
Now you say you work a lot on like the Crysis multiplayer side of things. What was it like transitioning to a story-based game but in an open world?
I mean, it's a big undertaking, to do a AAA open world game. It's got a really long campaign, a 20, 30-hour campaign. So yeah, it's a huge undertaking. Deep Silver have been fantastic with us, though, to really give the game the time that it needs for development. I think people should be really surprised, I think, by the level of quality and the level of immersion and storytelling that we've kind of managed to push in Homefront. So I kind of really feel that we're trying to do something different within the first-person shooter space, and hopefully that's something that will appeal to people.
Now, one thing that's been kind of said is there are different levels of difficulties, and getting to like really, really difficult, kind of like Dark Souls level. How would you explain that, like the levels of difficulty to those that don't really know?
I kind of look at Homefront as, we kind of term it internally at the studio as an intelligent shooter. So by that we just mean it's got depth to it, it's got nuance to it, it's tough. We've got 3 difficulty settings: Recruit, Hardened, and Nightmare, I think, is the highest difficulty.
It's a nice name.
So even on the easiest difficulty, it represents a challenge, and that's just because the whole premise of the game is that you're a guerrilla fighter, you're outnumbered, you don't have the same amount of kit and weaponry that the opposition have. So you need to do what it takes to try and even the odds, and to do that you really need to use cover, you need to scavenge ammo, you need to engage in some of the RPG loops, upgrading your weapon, upgrading your character, your gear. And by doing all of those things, by picking your battles, you can't necessarily clear out every area and expect to kind of take over the entire district and boot out the KPA in one fell swoop. It's a battle of attrition. But that's really what makes it compelling. You can really immerse yourself into the story, into the game world. You can kind of spend some time with it and learn more about the game and improve your tactics and kind of sink that time into it to get better.
What's your favourite style of play? Because you can do so many different. You can, as you said, pick your battles, or you can go straight in, or you can play stealthy maybe. What's your favourite style?
It's a good question, because actually it's one of those games where if you tend to kind of play it in a really kind of lazy, offhand way, you can end up getting punished, at the higher difficulty settings. So sometimes having that kind of wake up, you'll like die a couple of times, you'll revive back in the open world, you'll have lost some of your cash, your scavengeable items. And so that kind of wake up call kind of encourages you then to, well, hey, you've got to, just kind of keep an eye on things and not try and act like Rambo all the time. So it's really good. I really like to use the crossbow, kind of lining that up, counting for the arc of the crossbow bolt, taking guys out stealthily. You can customise it on the fly with a really high scope, a high zoom scope, so you can almost use it as kind of a sniper crossbow.
Yeah.
So that weapon is personally one of my favourites.
Now, the world's dynamic, so it's constantly changing, time and weather and all that stuff. How does that actually work? Like, what determines that? And let's say I die at night, it's probably going to be day when I respawn.
Yeah.
How does time work in this game?
So, as you mentioned, if you kind of die out in the open world, you revive back at a safe house or a safe place. Time will have advanced. The weather changes.
Is there a specific amount of time?
There is a specific amount of time, I would guess. I'm not quite sure what the number is I would guess maybe 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
You can also go to a safe house and use a bed to sleep to kind of manually advance time. So if you wanted to engage in a particular mission at night time,
is there advantages to playing at night, like you're maybe not spotted or something?
There are different kind of patrols and configurations of enemies at night time. So maybe at night time there are more seeker drones out, which kind of spot you using their kind of laser sights, whereas maybe in the daytime there are more kind of KPA foot patrols.
So with multiplayer, another thing I want to ask is, will it be supported, and how will it be supported for like after the launch of the game?
So we've got quite extensive plans to support multiplayer for a year after launch with free DLC. So there'll be map packs, weapon skins, new consumable items, all different elements. We're really kind of looking at it as a, supporting it as a live service.
Well, thank you for this interview,
Thank you
for letting me play the game. It was a bunch of fun. And I can't wait to actually play a lot more of it. Hopefully I get to do that soon. And it'll be out on PC, Xbox One, PS4 on the 20th of May. And that's Homefront the Revolution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our wars in the Middle East have been getting worse and worse, one leading straight to the next. Even after that terrible day in Riyadh, we kept fighting as our country fell apart. And still, we bought Apex to give us an edge. As the dollar tanked, our debt to North Korea spiraled. Unemployment rocketed, and the country was on its knees. The failing government defaulted on